All right, so first figure of this review. What is that first figure? Did you say we did go over this? Like what the shape was or no? We did or did not?
We did go over the shape.
Okay, so we must have said that this is a parallelogram. Did we go over the formula for a parallelogram?
Or
Base times height or length times width, but they have to be perpendicular. They have to form a right angle. So what you would do is to multiply your base. In this case, your base is 9.9 times 4.6. And you should get an area of 45.54 miles squared. Okay. What questions do you have on that one? That's about the easiest type of question you're going to see on tomorrow's test, if you would see it. Number 2, if we talked about the shapes yesterday, we would have said that this is a trapezoid. How do you recognize the trapezoid? It's got 2 bases. Usually we talk about base 1 on the top, base 2 on the bottom, and the height is the perpendicular distance in between, meaning it forms a right angle. So area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of the bases. So we are adding the length of the bases in between. Okay. So in this case, that is going to be 5.7 plus 1.5 times the perpendicular height of 3 times 1/2. So area should be equal to 10.8 meters squared. That is area. Any questions on that? All right, moving right along. Number 3, we probably talked about how this is a kite. And the informal term is it kind of looks like a diamond. Now I know you don't see too many diamonds that are that long and skinny, but it's a diamond shape, and that helps us to know that this is the formula with the D's, the diagonals. So area equals 1/2 times the diagonal 1. That goes from one vertex to the opposite vertex of 12. Diagonal 2 is 3. Put that together and we get 18 miles squared. How are we doing? Thumbs up? Pretty good? Any questions? Number 4, rectangle. Area of a rectangle. We really didn't talk about this, but I think we thought you knew it maybe from previous math courses. That's length times width. As long as your length and your width meet at a right angle, we can multiply 11 times 5 and get 55 meters squared. Did anybody get all 4 of those right on the front? Nice. Woohoo! Off to a great start. Let's go to the next page. And again, I am recording this, so if I'm going a little fast, you can watch it later. 5 and 6. What are these figures? Triangles. They have 3 sides, and a 3-sided 2-dimensional figure is a triangle. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height, where the base and the height have to be perpendicular. There has to be that little right angle. So for this first one, area is 1/2 base times height. Your base usually it's the bottom, what it would kind of sit on. So if I rotated that, I probably would say 5 is the base of my triangle. And the height, I know it is perpendicular. The height is going to be 3.1. So multiplying this together, my area is going to be 7.75 inches squared. This is your area. All right, here we are, number 6. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. 1/2. I'm coming to you, Miss Miranda, since this is your question. What do you think the base is? Or did you have this formula first? Say it again. Triangle? Yes, it is a triangle. What is the base of this triangle, would you say? Or is that what you had trouble with? Bless you. What? Oh, 5? It could be 5, yes. So if I make the base 5, you know how hard it is to draw a straight line? It's hard for me. If my base is 5, what is my height? 4. As long as they are perpendicular, that's okay. And you could rotate it so the 5 would be on the bottom, right? Now, maybe you said, well, what if I think 4 is my base? That's okay. Make 4 your base, and then 5 would be your height. Again, it's still perpendicular. And half of 20 is 10 miles squared. Oops. 10 miles squared. Any questions on that? All right, let's keep moving on. I'm going to be a little bit more selective. Or does anybody have any particular questions on 7, 8, or 9? 9? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go right to 9. So this is finding surface area. Now, what do we call this 3-dimensional figure in number 9? It's not a square because it's 3-dimensional. A cube. Yes, so all sides are squares, but when you put it all together, it is a cube. Now, we did not actually talk about this in any of our practice, so I was like, why is this coming up here? But it is a cube. You could also think of it as a square prism, but we don't call it a square prism because it has a more special name of the cube. But knowing that it's a prism, we would go to that formula sheet. Go to your formula sheet, and what is the surface area of a prism? Yes. Again? Didn't I give you another one yesterday? What are you doing with them? Are you hungry? I don't think I have any more. Do you have your review sheet? You don't have the review? Okay, the reviews are over to the right of the carton, the milk carton thing, the crate. So you can grab a new review for now. You have the review. So the last page of the review also has the formulas. Okay. As you look on that formula sheet, what is the surface area of a prism? It's perimeter times the height plus your 2 bases, right? Perimeter is always the perimeter of your base. So we would say 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11. That would be 44 times the height of 11 plus what is the area of this base? It's a square, right? Which is side squared, or 11 times 11. Now, if you put all of this together, and I don't have what that number is individually. Actually, I think I do. It's 484 here plus 242. You should get a total of 726 centimeters squared. But I'm going to show you a different method. 44 is the perimeter. So it was 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11. The distance around the base. So 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11. Good question. That's your perimeter. Now, let's think of it this way. A cube has all sides, all faces, all bases that are the same, right? So if I take the area of one square and I multiply it by the number of sides I have, how many sides are there in a cube? How many are there around the sides? 4, and then there's a top and a bottom, right? So if I take the area of that one cube and multiply it times 6, I should get the same answer. So area of one square is 11 times 11. And then I have 6 of those. So on your calculators, 11 times 11 times 6, what are we going to get? 726 centimeters squared. That is surface area. So you don't have to do this formula. If you think about it and it's a cube, it'll be the same. Yes? Where's the second what? I'm sorry? That is the height of the cube. Okay, the 2 is because we have to add the 2 bases. That's part of the formula. These are all good questions. Now, that again is surface area. It doesn't talk about volume, but I want to talk about volume of a cube because it's important for what you might see coming up very soon, like tomorrow. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So, volume of a cube. Volume of a cube is like volume of a prism. What is the volume of a prism? What is that formula? Look on your formula sheet. Right. Area of the base, capital B times the height. Since this is a square, it is side squared, or length times width, that gives you the base, times its height. So volume of a cube is length times width times height. So 11 times 11 times 11, or 11 to the third power, is going to be how much? Someone with a calculator, come on. 11 times 11 times 11, or 11 cubed. 1,000. You guys need to like enunciate. I'm old. Can't hear.
1,331.
Thank you. Centimeters cubed, because we're talking about volume.
I'm still confused.
Okay.
Okay, so the 44 is from
The perimeter, which is the distance around the base. So 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11.
11.
So the perimeter you add first, and that's how I got 44. And then times the height of that cube, which is 11. So 44 times 11 gave us the 484. And then the bases are 2 of the bases in the shape of a square. And since the area of a square is 11 by 11, 2 times 11 and 11 is 242. Add them together for a total of 726. Okay? All right. Any other questions on number 9? You should know how to find the volume of a cube and the surface area of a cube. All right. I'm gonna skip 10, but surface area would be 4 pi r squared. Volume would be 4/3 pi r cubed. So you just have to make sure if they're asking for surface area, you use this formula. If they're asking for volume, you use this formula. And are they giving me in number 10, is that 6 a diameter or a radius? It is diameter. So that means my radius would be 3. 4 pi times 3 squared. And you can calculate that. And this would be 4/3 pi times radius cubed. Does everybody know how to find the cube of a number? Remember, it would be like 3, and then this caret button, and then 3. Don't ask me that tomorrow. Yes, Osmel. Can I do 8? Yes. Any other questions about 10? All right, let's go back to 8. Find the area of each. Use your calculator's value of pi. Round to the nearest tenth. What do we call this figure? A slice, but what's the mathematical term? Starts with an S. There you go. Slice, yes, but sector. So the area of a sector is a fraction of the area of a circle. It's a fraction of it. It's not the whole circle, it's a fraction. The area of a circle, we know, or if you look it up, is pi r squared. And where do I get the fraction from? That is my angle or degree out of 360. That makes up the fractional part. So it would be 75 divided by 360 times pi, and what's my radius in this problem? 9. And then I would square that. Putting that all together, you should get 53.01. It tells you to round to the nearest tenth, which is 53.0 or just 53 meters squared. Okay. All right. What? You did not get that? You would do 75 divided by 360 times the pi button times 9, and then you would hit the x squared button and finally enter. That should give it to you. Okay? All right. Let's go to number 11. Number 11. What do we call that figure? You have to know what it's called before you can find the correct formula. A cone. And surface area of a cone. What does it say on your formula sheet? Come on, guys. What does it say on the formula sheet? Okay. Pi times radius times that cursive L. That cursive L is not just regular length. That is slant height. Okay, so keep that in mind. Slant height. Remember, this is surface area. If I am wrapping gift paper around this cone without any overlap, and I have to wrap the top too, that's why we have the area of a circle over here. That's going to give you your surface area. So, pi times radius. What is my radius? Is it 10? Is it 20 or 5? It is 5. This 10 is your diameter. That goes all the way across. So the radius is going to be half of that and be 5. So pi times a radius of 5 times slant height. Well, I have this height. Is that a slant height? Did we do this one yesterday?
Yeah.
The whole one? The whole thing? Did I do volume too or just surface area? I did volume as well? Oh, well, thanks for telling me because that just saved a bunch of time. So we did 11. Everybody's good with 11.
The answer 13?
Is the answer what?
13?
Can I go to 13?
No, ain't the answer 13?
No.
That's the Pythagorean theorem answer.
Oh. Okay. Yes, that's the Pythagorean theorem answer, which 13, is that what you meant? Yes. So this is 13. So that's a slant height of 13 plus pi r, which is 5 squared. Surface area should get you 282.7 yards squared. And what'd you guys get for volume? No, you don't need Pythagorean theorem for that one.
Oh, we didn't get to finish volume because of the bell rung.
Okay, so volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, which is 1/3 times pi times, what's my radius again? 5 squared times the height. Now, is that slant height or perpendicular height? If it's h. Should be perpendicular. Yeah, if they want slant height, that's when we'll put that cursive L. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't mean to have my back to you guys over here. Lovely back. Yeah, I know. Just kidding. Height, that is 12. So multiplying all those together, you could say 1/3 of 12, and that would simplify to 4. 25 times, 25 is right here. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 4 is 100. 100 pi is 314.15, but they asked us to round it to the 10th place. Look next door, 5 or more. So that 1 is going to go to 2. So 314.2 yards cubed, because that is the volume. Any questions on that? Oh my gosh, you guys, we have too many problems. All right. Did we go over 12 or 13 by chance? No. Okay. Did you have a question, Caden?
No, but I did.
Okay. 12. Let's look at surface area of 12. What do we call this figure? Pyramid. And look on your formula sheet. What is the surface area of a pyramid? Capital P for perimeter. Slant height plus the base. Now, if I asked for lateral area, what's the difference between surface area and lateral area? Do you remember? Lateral area is just the area of the sides. Okay? So this would be lateral area. A lateral area. But if we want surface area, we want the lateral area plus the base on the bottom. All right, so 1/2 times perimeter. Remember, this is the perimeter around your base. Right, Miss Miranda? Come on. So that would be 10 plus 10 plus, what is this length in the back? 10. And what's this over here? 10. So the perimeter is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which we know is 40, times the slant height. Did they give us the slant height? Yes, they did. Woohoo! So right here is my slant height, and that is 7.8 plus the area of my base. Now, because this is a pyramid only has one base, and that base is in the shape of a square, which is side squared or length times width. 10 times 10. 100. Yes. And this is 1/2 of 40 times 7.8. Half of 40 is 20. 20 times 7.8 is 156, I believe, plus 100. Should give you 256 centimeters squared. Did anybody get that on their own? Nice job. Okay, again, if they don't want the base, they just want the lateral area, don't add the 100, don't add the base. And so your answer would just be 156 for lateral area. I'm not going to do volume on that one, but let's take a look at 13. 13, is this a pyramid with one base, or is this a prism with two bases? It is a prism. What is the name of this prism? Triangular prism. So that means my base is in the shape of a triangle. All right, who's eating snacks without me? Okay, triangular prism. So surface area of a triangular prism is, surface area, let me think. I don't know what it is right offhand. I know it's got two bases, and let's see, it's probably, what, area of the base times height? Okay, now the base is a triangle. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. That is all of B times the height of the prism. So yes, there are two H's there. Okay. So 1/2 times the base of my triangle. Well, I want my base and my height to be perpendicular, and I see that little perpendicular thing right here. So I'm going to make 6 my base. And what is this height? Do we know what this height is? Or do I have to use Pythagorean theorem to find it? It is 8, yes, because it's right up here. And that is the same down here at the bottom. So my height is 8. That's just for the triangle. Now, H is the height of the prism, the distance in between the two bases. So what is this distance between the two bases? 7. Good. So that's times 7 plus my two bases are 2 times area of a base Oh, we just said that. 1/2 times 6 times 8. 1/2 times 6 times 8. I'm running out of room. Okay. Wait a minute. Did you guys fib to me? That is not the surface area. It's perimeter times height. Guys, we can't use that. Perimeter times height. You have to look at the formula. That's my bad because I should have checked. So this needs to not be a B. This needs to be a capital P for perimeter. Perimeter times the height. So the perimeter is the distance around, which is a little different. That is going to be 6 plus 10 plus 8. 6 plus 10 is 16 plus 8 is 24 times your height of 7. That is the height of the prism, plus your 2 bases. Okay. So 24 times 7 is 168, plus half of 2 is 1, and 6 times 8 is 48. That should give you 216 yards squared. That is the surface area. Okay, make sure you're double checking those formulas. What? Can I explain it? So a prism, if you look, is perimeter times the height, right? Plus the 2 bases. Your perimeter is the distance around. So that's 6 plus 10 plus 8, which gives me 24, times the height of the prism, which is 7 right here, plus the area of your 2 bases. So that's 2 times, this base is a triangle, which is 1/2 times base times height of just the triangle, which is 1/2 times 6 times 8. Since you want 2 of them, the 2 and the 1/2 cancel out. 6 times 8 is 48. Add those 2 together, you get 216. But you have to look at the formulas, okay? That's why we aren't making you memorize the formulas, because there's a lot of them and it gets kind of tricky. All right. So now we need to find volume. This is a prism. So volume is area of the base times the height. So we were kind of doing part of a volume problem with 2 bases, but that is not correct. So the area of the base, since this is a triangular prism, that's where we have 1/2 times the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle times the height of the prism. So this is where we have the 2 H's. So 1/2 base of the triangle is right here, 6. The height has to be perpendicular, 8. And the height of the prism, the distance in between, is 7. So you can take half of 6 and say 3 times 8 is 24 times 7, and you would get 163 yards cubed. That is the volume. Time 54. Okay, we got about 4-ish minutes. Oh, it is. I can't see. You're right. Looked like a 3. I'm telling you, my vision's really bad. Thank you. Any questions on those that we've done so far? All right, running out of time. Let's take a look at 15. I'm going to skip 14 for just a minute. If I take that either rectangle or square, it doesn't tell us what the lengths are, and I rotate it around that axis of symmetry, what kind of three-dimensional figure would I make? A cylinder, yes. A cylinder, because it's going around like this, right? And it would be a cylinder. How about this triangle? If I rotate that around, what's that going to make? No? A cone. Right? So it's going to look like this. It's going to spin around. That would make an upside down cone. Okay. Let me take a look at the next page real quick. Axis of symmetry. Where does it look the same on all sides as you look at it? Letter A, does that, whatever that is, cane, or does that have axis of symmetry? Yes. As you look at it from all sides, it looks the same. How about that cone, that ice cream cone bottom? Yes. What about this coral? No. How about that fried egg? No. It's pretty close, but not quite. And how about this building, whatever it is? Yes. Those all have axis of symmetry. Okay? This is what we call a composite figure down here. It is two shapes put together. If I am finding the volume, I would need to find the volume of this cone first, and I would need to add it to the volume of the cylinder. Okay? We're not really going to have time to work through it all, but the final answer should be 304.7 meters cubed. You need to show me some work, though. Going back, cross sections. I'm not asking what is the whole figure, but if I slice this in the middle, what shape is that going to be for this cylinder? What shape is that going to be? Think of the cylinder, and if I show you the bottom, what is that bottom slice going to be? Circle. Circle. What about if I have a cone like this, and I slice it at an angle? This is the funny one that I talked to you about. What is that shape? Well, the whole thing is a cone, but if I take this cross section, what is that called? That is called an ellipse. Ellipse. Okay? All right, do not take this test lightly. We are testing tomorrow. I will give you a half sheet in case you've lost yours. Keep working on the review and any missing assignments. I'll see you tomorrow.